It begins here with the USA Today. USA Today, of course, right? All right, let's go here. Sci-fi becomes real life. Maybe you guys saw this. Maybe you didn't. Let's skip that ad. Yeah. NASA doctor holoports to International Space Station. Did you see this? Okay. All right. This happened. This actually happened, right? All right, here we go. Star Wars, this is straight from the article. Star Wars turned into real life. A NASA doctor appeared as a hologram on the International Space Station for a telemedicine visit with an astronaut on October 8th, 2021, according to a recent release from NASA. The, quote, holoportation, a word made from hologram and transportation, features a lifelike visual and audio connection between the Space Center and those back on Earth. Dr. Joseph Schmidt and his crew were holoported to the ISS using the Microsoft HoloLens Connect camera and a personal computer with custom software Alexa, according to an April 8th release from NASA. Schmid had a virtual conversation with astronaut Thomas Pesquet, Pesquet, as part of a 3D telemedicine visit. Quote, "We'll use this for our private medical conferences, private psychiatric conferences, private family conferences, and to bring VIPs onto the space station to visit with astronauts," Schmidt said. All right. The technology allows users to interact with remote participants in 3D as if they were physically in the same space. All right. Quote, "It is a brand new way of human exploration where our human entity is able to travel off the planet. Our physical body is not there, but our human entity absolutely is there." Yeah, there we go. All right. I think that's a good way to start this. So we have this, thing happening, all right, with the, what's it called again? I can't even remember the name. It sounds so ridiculous. Holoportation, right? And, okay, so this term holoportation, and what it means is you can actually be physically in a different space, all right? A different space meaning that your consciousness and your body is here, right? I'm here, and you guys see me wherever you see me on the screen. I'm streaming, and I'm right there on the screen. But, right, so my presence isn't necessarily right here, because it's also there, right? Very much like that holoportation term, all right? Except, it gets complicated because we talk about consciousness on this show a lot. We talk about all kinds of weird stuff. And what happens when that little version of Michael Strange on your television starts, I don't know, maybe misbehaving? What if it's not in lock sync with exactly what I'm doing and it's not a true projection of myself? Meaning this. If you look at consciousness in terms of all the things we always talk about, how it may be larger than itself, meaning it may be larger than ourselves. It may actually be commingled with the universe at large, maybe a even universal consciousness that's not just people consciousness, it's galaxies and greater consciousnesses, larger than ourselves, that we're commingled with somehow. Like they say, like in Star Wars, the Force, everything's connected, right? The Force is a energy field that binds all living things together, all right? So what about that idea now? Now, let's take it to the next step. So first, we have this holoportation on the International Space Station. The doctor holoported on up there and was doing a, special visit. Okay. Well, this turns into a lot of things very quickly, right? Just a few sort of thumbnail sketch ideas that come to my mind are the Star Trek, right? The actual, they used to call it the rec room, the recreation room way back in the original Star Trek, but there's something called the holodeck. All right. So now instead of, now follow me down the rabbit hole. No nunchucks just yet. Follow me down the rabbit hole. Now it goes like this. So imagine we have this space where we just holo project people in. And it's almost like Star Trek beaming somebody down to the planet, right? It's almost kind of like that, but it's not really. It's not a physical presence, right? But what if you reverse it and you're like, okay, so my physical presence will go to the doctor's office on the International Space Station. Of course, the International Space Station is quite a bit smaller than the Enterprise with its luxurious decks and its holodeck and all the rest of that, right? So flip it on its head. And instead of the doctor holoporting to you, wherever you're at, you go into the doctor's office, which is more like the holodeck. All right? All right. So here we go. So we turned it on its head now. So we walked into the office and there's a doctor there on duty that's, well, part of this holodeck doctor's office. Okay. So you see where I'm headed with this. Now, suddenly the whole thing becomes, well, who's where? Right? Like, right? Again, that whole mind screw situation of who's where, what's going on here, whose consciousness is actually where. And then again, right, when we're dealing with artificial intelligence, and of course that's going to have to be built into these sorts of things. Well, how do we trust it and know that it is our consciousness at all?